Okay, so today we're going to do graphing lines. So first, I'm going to talk about graphing the yucky. So, yes. So say we don't know how to graph this. What is a method we can use to graph any equation when we don't know how to graph it? We don't know what it's going to look like ahead of time. What's the graph the y-intercept? So, but say I didn't know how to graph it, what might be something that I could do to be able to graph any equation? So you want to start with this. If you don't know how to graph something, what's that called? A table. So we're going to do a table. So again, I told you this is the yucky way. So we want to pick any number. Do we want to pick an X or do we want to pick a Y? Dexter says yes. I don't hear from anybody else. Anybody else have an answer?
Yes.
Do you agree with X? Why X? That's good.
Because you're trying to find X.
You're trying to find both of them, but if you put a Y in there, then you have to figure out what X will go in here. What X you'd have to multiply by 2, then subtract 1 to get that Y. So it's much easier to start with an X. So what's an X that we could do? We could graph any number. 2. Okay, so we wouldn't want to pick 100 because 100 wouldn't fit on the graph. But 2 would be a good number. So now we're going to substitute it into our equation. Y equals 2 times 2 minus 1. Or 4 minus 1, which is 3. So 2, 3 is 1 point. Okay, what's another X value we could choose? 4? Is that what you said? 4? 3, okay, 3. So let's substitute a 3 now in for X. 2 times 3 minus 1. Or 6 minus 1, which is 5. So looking at this equation, what kind of shape is it going to be? Just looking at the equation. So some of you knew it might be a line. How do we know it's a line and not something else? Is it different than this here?
Yeah.
Okay, what's different there? That X, what's different with the X squared?
Exponent.
The exponent of 2. So we don't have any exponents on here except for this X would be a 1. Exponent assumes to be a 1. Okay? But we have just an X and Y, no exponents. That's going to be a line. What's the minimum number of points that we need to graph? To graph a line.
Wait, what?
The minimum number of points that we need to graph.
2.
2, that's right. And we have 2. So let's go ahead and graph those 2 points. And can I get somebody to pass that down?
We need the house.
See, he's already in.
Oh, thank you so much.
He's already up.
Okay, so we're going to use your ruler to graph those. Oh.
Does it look just like her? It's perfect. She said it was the best drawing she's ever seen. Oh my god, that's perfect. You're like a troll.
I'll give you a
Yours.
So you're really wider than I know. So what even happened? What's the
Okay, so let's go ahead and graph the line. Use your ruler.
Wait, no, I don't.
Yeah, and then why did she get kicked out? Because all I heard was
Okay, so here's my line. Am I done? What else do I need to do to graph that? You need arrows because it goes on forever in both directions. Okay, let's do another one. So we're going to make a table. And what it would be a number that we could put in for x? 2. So 4. So this 4 is the same thing as 4 over what number? 1. And so when we multiply that out, we get -4 over 2, which equals -2. So -2 plus 4 or 2. So what's another good number? So why would 1 not be a good number to choose?
It'd be a fraction.
Because it's going to give us a fraction, and we don't want to have that fraction to graph. So what would be another good number to pick?
6.
8 or 6? Okay, so let's try 6. So y equals -1/2, substituting the 6 for the x. And then multiplying across, we get -6 over 2, which equals -3. So this equals -3 plus 4, which is 1. So 6, 1, and 4, 2, and then we will connect those. Why does it keep doing that? Sorry, I'm trying to get my line.
It starts at -2/6. No.
And then we're going to put arrows on it again. Okay, so again, that was the empty way. So we're going to talk about some faster ways to do it. Okay, so this is slope-intercept form. You remember that? Yeah. So why do we have slope-intercept form?
Draw a line, draw a point. Gosh darn it.
You can use it so you can see it, the rate of change there. It's also the fastest way to graph slope-intercept form. That's why we have so much emphasis on that, because it's the easiest way, fastest way to graph. So we're going to talk about this slope-intercept form, which is the intercept and which is the slope. Which of these letters? The B is the y-intercept. What does y-intercept mean?
Where the y
Good. Where that point, where that line graphs that crosses the y-axis. It is again the y-intercept, and the m is the slope. Okay, so now we've got a slope and we've got a y-intercept, and we want to write it in slope-intercept form. So we're going to put the slope here where m is, and the y-intercept here where b is. So it would be y equals 4x plus 5. Not too hard, huh? Okay, what would the next one be?
Y equals
1/5 x minus 2. So I put a 1/5 where the m is and the -2 where the b is located. Go ahead and do number 6. You have not already.
Predator.
What I looked at it. So we get y equals -9/4 x plus 4. Make sense? Okay, so now on the next ones, we've got graphs of lines. So when we did this before, like in the warm-up, we just found out what the slope was. Now we're going to actually write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line. So let's start with the y-intercept. Where's the y-intercept on this graph? 4. And we need to pick another point that we know for sure what that point is. So I only have one more on this one where I know for sure what that point is. The other one's crosses at x values that are decimals, and I don't know what they are. Yeah, this point right here, -4, -3. So when I write my equation, we know it needs to be y equals mx plus b. So what's my b? Where it crosses the y-axis, which is 4. So that's what goes in place of the b. And then I count for my slope. So I go up how much? 7. And to the right, 4. So my slope is 7/4 x plus 4. What's my y-intercept on number 8? -3. And then where's another point where it crosses on this one? Again, it has to be at an exact value.
-2 and 4.
Yes, good. So again, it has to be at that corner where we know for sure what that value is. So my equation is y equals, my y-intercept is -3. So I'm going to put a -3 in for that. And what's my slope?
Y-axis. -7.
So up 7, left 2, right? So +7, -2, so -7/2. X minus. Most common mistake. You write that equation until you get to put the X. You need to have the X in there. So, you think you need to have the X in that equation? Yeah, that's right, exactly. It's not in the equation of a line there. It's just an expression. I guess it's an equation, but it doesn't have an X there. So now on number 9, what's my y-intercept on number 9? Thank you, those of you who are sitting quietly. -2. What's another point on my graph? There's a lot of them.
-1, 0.
So yeah, that would be another point. -2, 2. So what's that slope? So up 4, left 2. So 4 over -2, which is -2. So y equals -2x minus 2. Go ahead and do number 10 on your own.
Oh, it's like a Y. I remember 0. I remember you figured out actually. It's undefined.
One X, it's just X. Because look, you're supposed to do this. Here's a point and here's a point. Go up one, go over one. That's one. And then y equals 1x plus 0, and then you can't have it as
One
one.
X plus 0. Oh, that makes sense. Not face. What about face? You're late.
Oh, so that's what I was saying. Oh. I really see baby.
So make sure, let's simplify it fully when
One
we
X
write
plus
it.
0.
Because like, you can't have 4 and 2y. So why don't you really? Oh, sorry to say, I wouldn't. Do you want me to sign a paper?
You know how to just do it right there, face.
Can you like put it in your room?
I have never mind. No.
Yeah. Please. Why would I just do it? It's like I drew. Oh.
Right here. So right here.
Oh, sorry, that was a mistake.
No.
Please, you.
Okay, so the fully simplified answer would be y equals x. Questions on that? Okay, so now we're going to graph the easier way. The easiest way is to graph using slope intercept. Because is this a slope intercept block number 11?
Yes.
Yeah. So what's the y-intercept?
-3.
So we start on the y-axis of -3. The most common mistake there, students want to put it on the x-axis. My slope is 4/3. So that 4/3 represents a rise over the run. So from this point, I'm going to rise up 1, 2, 3, 4. I just hold my pencil there. I don't put a point there. And then I go 1, 2, 3 to the right. And so I draw my graph. I put arrows. Where do I start on number 12? What's my y-intercept on number 12? -2. So this right here is my y-intercept. I start at -2. My slope is 5, which is, Sunny already looked ahead. She knows she wants to have a fraction, so she made it 5/1. Very good. So now from that point, we're going to go 5/1 again is your rise over run. So we're going to rise up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the right 1. Okay, number 13. What's my y-intercept on number 13? 5. What's my slope? -1, which is -1/1. Pay attention to this. Is this the same thing as 1 over -1?
No.
Are they equal? They're equal, yeah. So I can do it either way. Could I do it this way? No, what's wrong with that? That makes it a positive. Okay, so you can put your negative on the top, you can put it on the bottom, but you can't put it on the top and the bottom because that makes your slope positive. So we can go up 1, left 1, or we can go down 1, right 1. Doesn't matter which one we do. Still going to give us the same line. Oh, let me do that first, that's why. And then go ahead and do number 14 on your own.
How do you know which one to put it first?
Oh, yeah, I just did the like that. Oh, wait, yeah, I did.